There has never been a better time than now to come join the Belicio Foods team. Belicio has a new contract in place with plenty of awesome perks for their employees. From increased wages, access to the free health clinic, vacation after 6 months, and much more, Belicio Foods is committed to putting their employees first. For more information or to apply, visit beliciofoods.com/careers. Take advantage of these great new employee benefits and join the Belicio team today. Visit beliciofoods.com/careers to learn more.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the morning show right here on Main Street TV. Of course, Jennifer here to start off the morning with some very, very handsome fellas here in the studio, and they are members of the Oak Hill High School bass fishing team. Did you even know that that existed? That's pretty cool, huh? Welcome.
Hey, how are you?
Here.
I'm well. Thanks for asking. No one ever asked me how I'm doing. So let's start off by introducing yourselves. So we'll start over here.
I'm Caleb Lovett.
I'm Justin Williams. I'm the coach for the bass fishing team.
Okay.
I'm AJ Harrison.
Alrighty. So welcome. And you guys are, how old are you? What grade are you in?
I'm 15. I'm a freshman.
Okay.
I'm a junior. I'm 17.
Okay. And have you guys been in the bass fishing team long?
Yeah, 3 years.
Nice.
This will be my first year.
Okay. Probably the first year you could do it, right? Okay. Very good. All right. So Coach, tell us a little bit about, how long has the bass fishing team been? I didn't even know this was a thing. So this is so cool to me.
Yeah,
and
we've
of course, you
been
have the
around for-
beautiful lake out there.
Yeah, we've been around for five years now.
Okay.
This is probably our fifth year, maybe sixth year. And yeah, so we got the lake next door to us, so we could go there if we want. And then we do tournaments, like Lake Rupert, Rocky Fork, Deer Creek, just some of the lakes in the area. So we get out and fish some of those.
And so with the bass fishing team, what was I going to ask you? It had something to do with, I know. How many other high schools are available or entered into that?
There's a few around in our local area. Gallipolis has a team. Portsmouth West has a team. As you start getting up towards Columbus, there's some teams. There's a team in Alexander, I think, has a team. So there's a few local teams, and then there, throughout the state, there's quite a few.
Okay, very good. All right, so guys, tell us a little bit about how you guys got started fishing.
I have 2 ponds on my property, and I just always grew up outdoors and fishing, and just kind of always stuck with me.
So you actually been fishing for a long time then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, my dad got me started when I was little, and I've always been going with him, and it means a lot when I go with him. So a lot of family support too.
And that's so cool because fishing obviously is a sport, but it's also like a really good pastime that families do together. So you can kind of combine all that into one thing. That's pretty neat. We're going to go out and practice, but it's really fun too.
Right.
So why bass? Why is bass native to our area? I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, bass are native to our area, and it's just something that has the sport around it. There's tournaments. It's kind of a big thing. You don't get much of the sporting aspect, I guess, the competing aspect with some of the other fish.
You go out to Lake Jackson and you just throw something down and you catch a bluegill, right? Like you just scoop it out of the water.
Yeah.
But no, so the bass are a little bit harder. Now, do all of our local lakes and stuff have bass in them, or?
Yeah.
They do. Okay. So, all right. So let's talk for a minute about what the key is to catching a bass versus that bluegill or something else in the lake.
I mean, most of it was 90% luck and 10% skill. So.
Well, I was going to get to that. How much of it is luck and how much of it is skill?
A lot of luck, definitely. I mean, you got to have a little skill, like flipping under a rock or casting under a tree, making sure you get a good cast. There's a little skill, but most of it's luck, for sure.
Okay. And so where in the pond do the bass live or the lake?
They like to bed, kind of like brushy places. So you could I don't know if you find like a good tree, that's probably a good bed for a fish, or
Like a tree up above or a tree in the water?
In the water. That tree fell
Well,
in
then
the
how
water.
do you not get your line all stuck up in the
You
water?
gotta be a good
Oh,
fisherman.
that's where the 10%
Yeah,
skill comes
That's
in.
where the skill comes in.
Okay, so they like to like get into stuff.
Love cover.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about like when you actually go to a tournament, how does it work? I guess I'll ask Coach that.
Well, like what we do is we get to the lake in the morning, usually before daylight, so it's early mornings.
Okay.
We all meet up and then just put the boats in at a certain time. Say we start at 7, and then we all take off, and then just fish in our own boats.
So you fish in boats.
Yeah,
You're not
so like,
fishing.
yeah.
Okay.
I'll take my boat and then have 2 kids with me, and then they fish as a team, and we fish against other boats and other teams. And then we'll fish till a certain time, and then we come back in. You're allowed, most lakes around here, you're allowed to keep 5 bass, 12 inches or bigger. So you bring in your best 5 fish,
Okay.
and then you weigh them in at the end of the day, and whoever has the most weight wins.
So it's more about the weight, not like how long it is,
Right.
or okay,
Yeah, it's
or
all
pretty
about
it is.
Yeah,
Or you're like, but mine's the prettiest. That's how I would argue.
bonus points.
Yes. Mine's smiling at me. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So you go out actually in a boat. So do you all have your own boats, or you go out and coach?
We have boat captains. Like there's some teachers in the school or people in the community that they just, I wouldn't really say.
Basically, they just volunteer
Yeah,
to their time.
volunteer.
Oh, they do?
So that's what we really rely on. I mean, that's one of the hardest parts of having a bass fishing team, really.
Finding captains.
Finding
for sure.
boat captains, finding people willing to, give
So
up their Saturday to go out with kids and not fish, just watch, take them around and try to help them fish. So.
Sure. All right. So how many people are on the team, and how many people compete at the same time?
I think we have 15 on the team right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have 15, and then as far as the amount that compete, it's just as many as we have boats for.
Okay.
So I try to get boaters for everybody who joins the team. I try to get a boat for everybody. Most of the time it works out, but sometimes
There they are
doesn't.
up there on the thing. All right, cool. Oh, well, aren't you guys also handsome? Are there any girls on the team?
Not at the moment. There has
Well.
been in the past.
Need to get some girls, don't we?
Right.
Yeah. All right. So, what all special gear is involved? Like, is this like a team sport where like, uniforms are provided and all that stuff? Or is it like y'all are on your own?
Yeah, we buy our own jerseys and we get like practice shirts. This right here is one of our shirts from 2 years ago,
Okay.
and we just get a long sleeve, sweatshirt jersey, and then like a short sleeve jersey.
Okay.
Yeah, so we get a couple things. We even got a hat.
So, what about like your fishing poles and stuff? Do you bring your own?
Yeah, you bring your own.
Okay. Kind of like, people bring their own bats and stuff
Yeah.
to baseball games, whatever you're comfortable with. I gotcha. Okay. So, do you actually put like worms on the hook, or do you use like fake stuff? How does that work?
That's mostly fake stuff. And
Is it?
soft plastics and like hard plastic lures.
Do you get to choose what you bring, or is there like a specific bass like lure that everyone uses?
No, you gotta bring what's most comfortable to you and what you think will be right for conditions that day.
Okay, well, let's talk about that for a minute. Conditions of the day. What would make like one lure different than like another for different days?
Well, if it's raining, you probably want to go top water or the buzz bait or something. But if it's like cold and dreary, you'd want to work it slow on the bottom.
Okay.
With
You say that in English?
Yeah. Start over again, like in terms that we all understand.
if it was raining outside, you'd want to use a lure that like went on the top of the water, because they'd be looking for bait that'd be falling, or like food to be falling out from the rain. And if it's cold and they don't want to move much and conserve their heat, they'd want to stay underwater and not go up for those lures that are on top of the water.
Okay, so if it's rain or if it's cold, then you're going to want to take the lure down to the
Or
fish.
just slower.
Okay. Because they're not moving too much. I don't move too much when it's like this outside either. So what are the best ultimate temperatures and stuff for bass to catch them?
Probably just the weather in the spring. That's the best.
Spring? Okay.
Yeah, spring's a really good time to be out. They're just coming off winter, so they're starting to feed up before they get ready to spawn, and then when they have their nests and stuff, their beds, they're pretty easy to see, pretty visible. So that's always kind of exciting. You get up there and get up close and personal. They don't really swim away much. They kind of want to stay locked onto their bed. So 55, 65, right around that area in the springtime is when it really starts getting good.
Gotcha. This is all fun. I'm learning all kind of stuff. So no, I have some friends that are really into fishing, and they go out quite a bit and go to like up north and stuff. And I just think that's very fascinating. So, well, you guys have something very, very important is coming up this weekend, correct?
Yeah, it's Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
We have a tackle swap. You can come in, you can buy baits, you can sell them, you can trade stuff. There's going to be people that's going to be selling kayaks there, and I think there's how many tables?
Right now, there's 26 tables,
26
worth of
tables.
stuff. Some people got multiple tables, so we probably got at least 15, 16 different vendors coming.
So tell us the who, what, when, where, and why, and all that stuff. Because we haven't mentioned when or where this is.
So it's going to be Saturday from 9 to 1 at Oak Hill High School. As soon as
Oh,
you
at
walk
the
through
high
doors,
school.
Yep, as soon as
Okay.
you walk through the door, it's going to be right there. Should be all set up in the cafeteria there. So
Okay, and what time?
9 to 1.
9 to 1 at Oak Hill High School. So if somebody wants to come and actually, so this is like you can bring your stuff and like trade and whatever, like just everybody come and hang out, right? Do you have to pay to get in?
No.
Nope.
That's good. Free's good. We like free.
Yeah, so you don't have to pay to get in. When you get there, we're going to have some food, some drinks, things like that. There's going to be the vendors all set up all throughout. We've got Raccoon Creek's coming with their kayaks, so they're bringing a bunch of kayaks. We got a few different lure companies who actually build their own lures.
Cool.
There's at least 3 or 4 different folks who are coming in who it's all handmade, their own personal stuff. And then, as we mentioned earlier, there's just people who just have too much fishing stuff, or I don't know if that's really a thing. If you can have too much fishing stuff.
Yeah, right. It's
But
like having too many shoes.
people who
Sorry,
want,
it's not
people who want
possible.
new fishing stuff are going to come and get rid of a lot of stuff. So, and there's I know of at least one guy who has his own bait store, tackle store. So he's going to come and sell some of his stuff as well. So there's really quite a mix of handmade lures, your mainstream lures,
Okay.
kayaks, just a lot of different outdoor and fishing stuff.
I love all this. So, if people, maybe like say for me, for example, and I don't know anything about fishing, could I come and you guys like kind of help me get me started?
Yeah, we'll have the whole bass team's going to be there, so we could walk around and we'll show you everything, and we'll have food. We'll have a stand for food, drinks, and yeah, we'll
selling
definitely
raffle
show
tickets.
you. Yeah, we'll help you out.
So you guys would be like our tour guides?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. See, they're so sweet, aren't they? So, all right, let's talk for a minute. And you were telling us off the air, and I think this is so cool that Oak Hill actually won the state title a few years ago.
Yeah, in 2018, we won the state championship at Allen Creek Lake, and so that was pretty exciting.
That's so cool.
We had 2 teams finish in the
There
top
they are.
5, and we were able to actually fish nationals. So 2 of the different teams got to go fish in Alabama at Pickwick Lake. So
No
for
way.
the national championship, yeah.
That is amazing. And there they are. They look happy.
Yep.
So how big is a bass that you typically catch? Like, what do they look like? I don't even know.
It's got to be, 12 inches?
Most of the time it's 12 inches.
12 inches. It's got to have a certain length, and usually about, I don't know, an average bass probably weighs, 1, 2 maybe, 2
Yeah,
pounds.
1 2 pound average. And you can catch them up to, 7 pounds would be, a pretty big one. But it's anywhere from 1 to 7 pounds would be kind of in the range that you could possibly catch around here.
Okay. So what lakes are best around our area for bass fishing?
Hammertown Lake, it's pretty clean. Lake Rupert and Wilson, that's clean too.
Okay.
Jackson Lake. Yeah.
I know Hammertown, I just go out there occasionally and walk around and whatever. And it is, and I do have a really good friend that works at another brewery in Athens, and he's an avid fisherman, like has sponsorships and all kind of stuff. And he stopped by the brewery one day. He said, "Man, I was just out of Hammertown." He said, "My God, that thing is pristine." He was like in shock how pretty it was out there. So
Hammertown's clean, clear water.
we have it's like the ocean, like the Gulf. It's so clear, and we do have some beautiful resources here in our area. So that's a good thing. So what else would you like to tell our viewers while you're here?
Well, we've got a question here.
Oh.
I don't have a mic, so you might have to repeat this.
Okay. We have a question.
But someone asked, do you use open bail or closed bail fishing rods?
Do you use open bail or closed bail fishing rods? And again, they're speaking some language that they lost me.
My favorite, I like bait casters. It's more bait casters. You have to have more skill to use. It's harder to fish with bait casters, but we use open faces too, where you flip a bail, and it's a lot easier. Definitely a lot easier.
Okay.
I use bait casters too. Yeah. I haven't used an open bail in a long time, but I just prefer bait casters because they cast farther and they're easy. Like you can aim better with them.
Yeah, they're a lot smoother.
Okay. So can you explain those a little bit? Because I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, with the bait caster, it's meant for like your maybe your little bit larger baits, moving baits, something you're going to reel, cast out and reel in. You got to push a button and it's got a spool that spins, and if you don't stop it with your thumb, you get a big backlash or bird nest, if you will. So you got to be real touchy. As far as an open face or a spinning reel, you hold it with your finger, the line, and then you open the bail and you cast it out. And that's meant for like lighter line stuff, smaller baits. So we use both of them. They both have their place.
Okay.
So you use one in certain circumstances, and then the one in the other.
So what's the one for fishing for dummies, like this girl that just wants to throw the thing out and whatever? What's that one?
That'd be your open face, or maybe just one of the Zebco push button rails.
Zebco 33.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking
push
about.
button.
You just hold the button and you
Yep.
fling it.
That's a Zebco.
Okay, so you guys don't use this.
No.
You use something a little more
Yeah.
skilled than that.
Yeah.
He's laughing at me, but that's okay. You got to understand.
What kind of fishing pole do you use to catch the fish for those big fish sandwiches you have at Archinetti's?
Oh, I don't. That's a secret. I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you. No, I don't know. Someone else fishes those fish, not me. With my Zebco. What'd you say, a Zebco 33?
Zebco 33.
Okay. I'm going to Walmart today and buying one of those just in your honor. That's funny. Yeah, but I would say that isn't that like what most people that are just like
It's $35.
fishing around? I'm there.
Yep.
I got it. I'm going to come out and beat you with my Zebco 33.
Come on. I like the competition.
I think that would be hilarious to go out with you guys sometime. You guys could teach us how to fish. That would be fun.
Yeah, it'd be a good time.
You'd be jumping in the lake trying to get rid of us, but no, that would be neat. I've never fished off of a boat before. That sounds fun.
That's one of like the the big things for us is adults who do fish now. We all fish competitively on our own, and just to get the kids out, get them out on a boat. They've all, like you said, grow up fishing ponds, but to be able to take them out, on a bass boat, going fast down the lake or down the river, it's just a whole new experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. You're out there in the middle of it. That is really cool. Well, very good. Any other questions, James?
What's the biggest bass you've ever caught?
Oh, good question.
I actually caught this summer. It was probably about 4 or 5 pounds, and It was out of a pond behind my house, and I was pretty excited.
Oh, just like a pond, like a random pond out by your house?
Yeah, so it's the one I kind of got started fishing in, and I didn't really know it was in there until last summer. It was a big moment. It almost came off. Oh well, actually, it came off at the bank. I jumped in behind it and grabbed it and threw it up on the bank.
You're like, that fish is not getting away.
And it was at my neighbor's house. They heard me like scream, "Yes!" And they came down and asked if I was all right. I was like, "Look at this. It's in your pond."
No, I'm just excited. So what do? Do you throw them back or do you keep them?
Yeah, I don't usually keep fish.
Okay.
I usually try to throw them back so other people can catch them and have fun.
Yeah. So like in the tournaments, are they kept or are they thrown back?
No, after we weigh them and everything, we go and throw them all back.
Okay, so the fish survive
Yeah, they
to
do.
see another day.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. So what's the biggest one you've ever caught?
I think 6 pounds, and it was up at my house a pond behind my house.
Really? So how long does it take a bass to grow that big? Like how old would that bass be?
Ooh,
A 6 pound, 7 pound bass would be, you're looking at probably close to 15 years old.
Oh,
Around
really?
there, 10 to 15 years old.
You think, man, you've lived that long. I'm going to, here you go.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you keep on. That's wild. I wonder, how long do fish live typically? I don't know.
It's a good question. I fish a lot up north in the summer, and I've got some smallmouth that have been tagged. And the oldest one that I've caught, because you send that information in, and then they'll send you back, when it was caught, how old it is.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
so
cool.
The oldest smallmouth that I've caught was 18 years old.
No way.
Yeah.
That is, how big was it?
Like, wasn't even one of the biggest ones that I've caught up there. It was just right around 4 pounds, just a little over 4 pounds.
But it was that
But it
old.
was old, yeah.
Isn't that crazy? You
Mhm.
wouldn't think they would live that long. Very good.
All right, Philip Malone asks, what is your favorite place you've ever fished? And this is he's asking Mr. Williams, but I want to ask all three of you.
Yeah, good question. Where's your favorite place you've ever fished?
Well, the pond behind my house because it's got a lot of memories of me and my dad growing up when I was growing up, and that's probably it.
That's good.
For me, probably, Lake Superior. I spend a lot of time up there in the summers and, take my boat up there.
Yeah.
And, just going out in crystal clear water, beautiful northern setting, catching smallmouth. It's just, eagles flying by. It's a beautiful setting and catch really big fish.
It would be a little serene, wouldn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
My favorite is probably Lake Cumberland.
Okay.
It's very big and it's beautiful.
I've been to Lake Cumberland a few years ago. I wasn't fishing. I was just on a boat. But yeah, it was fun too. They were having some big thing there. But anyway. Yeah, that's a huge lake.
Yeah,
like,
Cumberland.
oh my gosh. So, well, cool. Any other questions, James?
Yeah, what is the maximum test line you use for tournaments?
Oh, what is the maximum test line you use for tournaments?
I'll probably run 50 pound braid when I'm throwing around cover and stuff, but when I get like away from cover, I'll probably use lighter line.
Probably
Okay.
12-pound fluorocarbon. It's probably what I use mostly. 12 to 15 pound.
Okay. So you said braid. So is the line like actually braided? So it's like super
tiny
strong?
rope, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So what's the advantage to using like a lighter line versus a like heavier line? Obviously, if you're going to catch a great big fish, you need a heavier line, but
Braid line usually doesn't sink, so it sits on top of the water. But your
Okay.
fluorocarbon, that's what like goes into the water and like it sinks and stuff. Like it's harder for the fish to see the fluorocarbon.
okay. Gotcha. So you psych them out.
Yeah.
It's fish psychology 101. I like it. Do you ever have like a call like here fishy or
When you
anything
get
like
desperate.
that?
When you
When you
haven't
get
caught a fish in a
desperate.
few hours, and everybody breaks that out.
Come on, baby. You're so pretty. Come to mama. Do you is there ever a time where you don't catch anything?
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Definitely.
Oh, really? That would be
Definitely.
frustrating too. So fishing has to be like, I feel like it's kind of like golf, like relaxing and stressful and just all at the same
You
time.
definitely need a lot of patience for fishing.
Yeah.
A lot of patience.
Well, and as you said, some of it is luck. So you're it's not all your skill. It's like you have to have some luck there too. And sometimes it goes your way and sometimes it doesn't.
Most of the time it doesn't. Most of the time it doesn't.
So what's the most valuable lesson? Is patience the most valuable lesson you've learned from this?
Probably.
Yep.
You gotta stay patient.
Yeah. I could see that. Well, and I wonder if like the fish can feel your vibes from like up, like if you're just feeling like really anxious or like mad or whatever, and they can feel, they're like, I'm not going near this kid.
A lot of that goes into how you fish, and how if you're angry and you're, jerking on your line and in your rod and stuff, and it's just, it doesn't look natural.
Right.
In the water, so your emotions kind of come out in how you fish. So if you're not stay calm and stay patient, you're not going to fish well.
I could see that. So again, you have to learn patience. Maybe we should all be fishing right now.
I agree.
I feel like if everyone learned to fish, we'd have world peace. All right. Well, guys, I thank you for coming in. Let's talk about your event this weekend again. Just remind everybody so that they can come and participate.
Saturday from 9 to 1 at Oak Hill High School. As soon as you walk right through the doors, you'll see everybody.
And you'll have lots of vendors there, people trading stuff, just kind of a swap meet kind of deal. Mm-hmm. And what does this benefit? Your team?
Yeah, the Oak Hill Bass team.
Okay. So come out, support these guys and maybe girls someday, and help them out and have some fun. And you said it's 9 to 1?
Yes.
Okay. Very good. Oak
9
Hill
to
High
1.
School.
Hopefully we'll see you there.
Yeah. All right. So anything else you want to tell our viewers before I let you get out of here?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys have to go back to school?
Yep.
Sadly.
Yeah.
Come up with more stuff.
I was going to say the longer you talk here, the less you have to go back to school. So I
You
think
guys play any other sports?
I play football and basketball, but I didn't get to play this year because I tore my knee. Tore my ACL, MCL, and meniscus.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's been a long couple months for me.
I'll bet. Did you have to have the fun surgery and all that? Yeah. Great.
Yeah, I play baseball, basketball. I'm going to be playing football again this summer and fall.
Cool. So you guys are into everything. So when is the fishing season? Like when's your season for high school tournaments?
What day was state?
State's usually right at the end of May, beginning of June, right around there. But we'll have, a few tournaments in the spring. We have a couple with just our club, and then like he was saying earlier, we do one where last year I invited all the other schools in the area that I knew who had a fishing team, and we all just met at a lake and fished. That was also in the spring.
Okay.
So a lot of it's in the spring,
In the spring.
going into summer.
Okay. Very cool. Well, congratulations. This is so fun. I didn't even know. And did you tell me that Rio has a bass fishing team?
I don't know.
The college does, yeah.
The college does. I
It's
thought
actually it's kind of a thing that's becoming bigger now.
Brian Smith told us about that.
Was that? I knew someone told us about that. I knew that they did.
So yeah, colleges have bass fishing teams, and even giving out scholarships.
Hey,
So
there you go,
can
guys.
Get a scholarship to go to school and fish. So
That's pretty cool. Well, thank you for taking time out of your day to come and see us. We appreciate it so much.
yeah, thank you for inviting
Thanks
us.
for
This
having
is
us.
great.
Of
Great to be
course,
here.
and get out and support these guys this weekend. Oak Hill High School, 9 to 1 on Saturday. And you can learn about fishing, if nothing else. Just come talk to them, right? I'm sure you guys would be happy to talk
Right.
fish.
Yep.
All right. Well, have a great day, everyone.
All right, you too.
You
Thanks.
too.
Thank you. All right. Well, let's head on over to your weather forecast, which is kind of all over the place at this point. Today is Wednesday, January 12th. Can you believe that already, that it's January 12th? And but today will be partly cloudy with highs around 47, lows around 30. For tomorrow on Thursday, a little bit cooler, partly cloudy with highs of 43, lows of 28. And then on Friday and Saturday, those temperatures dropping back down into the mid to lower 30s. And of course, getting down into the teens overnight Friday, Saturday. A little bit of precipitation for the beginning of your work week Monday, but some warmer temperatures there as well. So, not the worst. It is the middle of January, so we shouldn't complain too much about that. But we've been a little spoiled.
I'll complain if I want to complain. Don't tell me what I can't complain about.
Don't be a negative Nelly. As James is like, I hate cold weather.
It's so cold. No, actually, I don't mind the cold weather because I like wearing like winter clothes.
I know, like,
I was like, I
can
don't
I
want
just put on my sweatshirt?
Yeah, can I just wear sweatshirts and sweatpants all the time? I don't want t-shirts and shorts. I
don't want anything form-fitting that shows off, the COVID-15.
The COVID bod.
I've talked to more people about that lately. They're like, you know what, we just have given up. Like, it's just because it never ends, It's
well, we have all figured it out that it never ends at this point.
We thought 2 years ago that we were going to be, we'll all
2
be
weeks
back
to flatten the curve.
Yeah. It's just never going to end.
2 years later.
Yep. Here we are. Still talking about it.
Yep.
So.
Love it.
Yeah. So what is going on with you?
Well, I was wondering if you still had that page of. I just heard a ghost.
What was that?
I think it was the wind just blew the door. Or maybe the door wasn't shut all the way or something. Sorry. Do you still have that page of Betty White? Trivia facts?
I do.
Because last time we talked about Betty White, we talked about the Golden Girls spinoff that was coming to Hulu where they buy a hotel. Well, I watched the pilot episode of that last night.
Is it? Did you really?
Yeah.
What's it called? The Golden Palace?
It's called the Golden Palace, and it's the Golden Girls buy a hotel. I think you went past it.
No, I'm still getting it.
Okay.
It's that long.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it
Is
goes
a
on
page
forever.
for every year she lived.
Pretty much, yeah.
But yeah, it's real
just
weird.
really big writing. So.
It in addition to what Betty White, Michelle Getty, and
Estelle Getty,
and
Rue McClanahan.
In addition to them, B. Arthur's not in it. It also
she was the troublemaker.
Yeah, it also stars Cheech Marin, Cheech and Chong fame, and Don Cheadle of Space Jam: A New Legacy fame. And somehow Don Cheadle in like 1992 or whenever this show aired somehow looks older than Don Cheadle in 2020.
I wonder if they did that on purpose.
Well, I think it's because he had a mustache back then, and that just makes you look like a middle-aged man, even though he was like 20 probably.
So is this show like a comedy like The Golden Girls? Or
yeah, I mean, it's a straight spinoff of The Golden Girls. They sell their house and buy a hotel for some reason.
Is it in Miami or is it somewhere else?
Yeah, I guess it's in Miami. Yeah.
How do I not even remember this? I can't believe it.
I mean, it got canceled after one season, and after watching the first episode,
see why.
It wasn't very good. I mean, if you just love the Golden Girls, you're like, well, it's just more Golden Girls, but like, it was definitely not as like well written, and and B. Arthur was a kind of an important part of that.
I mean,
ensemble.
Listen, all four of those characters were so strong in their own ways that if you don't have one, it's like.
Yeah.
It doesn't work because they just were so different yet so important.
Yeah. And I think like back in like the 80s and 90s, like reruns were such a big part of TV. I think the Golden Girls maybe didn't really find their audience until it went into reruns too.
Yeah, like I can remember being a little girl and watching the Golden Girls, which I can't believe my parents let me watch it. Because it's pretty raunchy if you think about it.
Yeah, and this one definitely it kind of leaned into those jokes a little bit.
Yeah, like, I mean, let's just be honest. One of the characters is a giant slut, and that's like what her main claim to fame is.
That's her main character trait.
And she talks about it constantly. Yeah. So,
very, very three-dimensional character.
Yeah. Did you know, little trivia fact, that they wanted Betty White to play Blanche's character.
Oh my.
So when Betty White auditioned for the Golden Girls, it was to
Yeah.
play Blanche's character.
That's
To
funny.
be the slut.
Yeah. That's kind
No
of
way.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
no.
kind of hard to imagine.
Right, correct. So, but no, I have to watch that. And I don't have Hulu though. So I'm
Yeah.
going to have to figure out another way to watch it.
I think you're just gonna have to give Hulu $10 a month. to
Dang
watch
it.
But it's funny. But Cheech is the hotel chef, and him and what's Estelle Getty's character's name?
Sophia.
Sophia. Yeah, him and Sophia are arguing over what they're gonna cook. He wants to cook Mexican, and she only will let him cook Italian.
So good. You know, it's so funny because we were talking about the fact, because I watch Golden Girl reruns all the time because it's so easy to find. And it's just like mindless, so you can turn it on and then do other stuff too. And they're funny, so it just like makes you laugh.
Yeah.
But Jamie asked me the other day, he's like, how old are they in the show? And I was like,
I know. They're supposed to be old in the show, and then they all lived like another 40 years or whatever.
Yeah, I'm like, that's a good question because there's one episode where Blanche is talking about she thought she was pregnant, but then she was going through menopause. And I'm like, I thought they were like 70 in the show. But then there's one episode I was watching the other day where Sophia says she's 81.
Yeah.
So if you do the math, they're probably, 60-ish,
Right. Mm-hmm.
I would say, in the show.
Right.
But you're right. They all lived like 40 years past that. So I don't know. It's one of those things that it was just a show. Just watch it and go on.
Well, and also Estelle Getty, who was supposed to be, her character was supposed to be the oldest of the four.
Correct.
But in real life, she was the second youngest, I think.
Yeah. She was not the oldest.
Yeah.
But they just made her look.
They just put a wig
way.
on her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So I got this, you know how those rando things pop up on your Instagram or whatever, or Facebook? It's like rando stuff for sale.
Yeah.
And the other day, so I have this really good friend, Zach, who loves the Golden Girls too.
Yeah.
And this set of Golden Girls socks came up. And they're like knee-high socks, and they're socks of each character though.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, we need these. So I sent him a
you
thing.
need those.
We need these. You know what he wrote back?
Already got them?
Yes. he said, I got 2 sets for Christmas. And I'm like, give one to me.
Yeah.
I would wear those all the time. I love the Golden Girls. But
Well, I know what to get you next year.
exactly, right? So no, I found this thing. We all know that our America's granny or sweetheart or whatever you'd love to call her, Betty White, did pass away on New Year's Eve. So at the age of 99, right before her 100th birthday.
Yeah. 3 weeks before her 100th birthday.
That's right. So I found some really interesting facts about Betty White that I did not know. And I thought that we could kind of go over them because they're kind of really interesting. Of course, she was the queen of comedy. Her first job was in a Parquet butter commercial. So basically she hung around in the producer's office until he decided to offer her a job in the commercial. Once she started in that commercial, it led to her appearance on a radio show called The Great Gildersleeve, which was also produced by the same
by the butter
guy.
people?
Yeah, by the Parquet butter guy.
Okay.
Yeah. She never took an acting lesson. She just said that she thought that it was just much more natural if she just did what she thought. She said, I just wanted to bring as much natural as I could. I'm not saying that people taking acting lessons are false. They're much better than I am, but it doesn't work for me.
It was probably less common then, too.
Maybe. But you just think that then all of the stuff that she did over the years was God-given talent. I mean, you want to talk about timing.
You learn from experience. You learn from watching other people.
But I think the main thing is she was just herself, and herself was a light. And she's kind of like Dolly Parton. They're just amazing lights that people want to be around and are drawn to. Betty White originally wanted to be an opera singer. Yeah. But that didn't work out for her. She actually was in the Lorax where she sang a few bars.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I don't remember that movie very well, but that doesn't
I've never
surprise
seen
me.
it. But yeah, she's.
Danny DeVito's the Lorax.
Oh, really?
He speaks for the trees.
There you go. So I'm glad you know that. So she sang a little bit in that. She said she did grow up taking singing lessons, just not acting lessons. But if she wasn't going to be a singer, originally she wanted to be, are you ready for this? A park ranger or a zookeeper.
I see that.
Because she loved animals so much. But girls weren't allowed to be that back when she was growing up.
Isn't that crazy?
It is. It totally is. In 2010, she received an honorary park ranger title at the age of 88, something she said that her parents would enjoy. She said they would be more proud of me for this than any other award that I've won. Now,
and speaking of awards that she won, she was the first woman to ever produce a television show.
Correct.
And I think, and from that, I think she was the first woman to ever win an Emmy Award for like for like behind the scenes thing too.
Yes, that's in here somewhere.
I'm getting ahead of you.
Yeah, you're one upping me. No, I think that this is really, really wild. Think about this. Think about a decision that changed the course of an entire company for years.
Mm-hmm.
Betty White, the Today Show wanted Betty White, had to have Betty White to be a host.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted her so much. She hated the East Coast. She didn't like it. She always wanted to live on the West Coast. In fact, she lived in Ohio for a while and hated that and divorced her husband and left.
Yeah. She lived in Michigan too?
I think so.
Or maybe that's where she was born.
She might have been born in Michigan.
And then they moved to California when she was a child.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then she moved to Ohio with her husband and hated it and left him and went back to California.
Gee, I can't imagine.
I know, right? Why?
Why? What was wrong with this place?
as we do the weather forecast.
Yeah.
But she turned down the Today Show gig, and they wanted her so much, and she hated the East Coast, that they offered her to put her up every week in the St. Regis Hotel and then fly her back and forth.
Yeah.
And she said no.
I'd rather live in Cleveland than have to fly back and forth from Los Angeles every week.
So guess what? That opened the door for another little name, Barbara Walters.
Mm-hmm.
So they wanted Betty White. Barbara Walters then became the host of the Today Show. And of course, that is all history, as Barbara Walters certainly went on to have a ginormous career as well. So let's see. There's a few things that are just like not all that interesting. She was on, her first Emmy nod was for her role in a comedy that she created, which was called Life in Elizabeth.
Mm-hmm.
And that was in 1952. She had married a guy by the name of Alan White, and he wanted her to stop acting. As you can imagine, that didn't go over very well. She did not stay with him. He wanted her to, be the wife and mother and all that stuff. And she's like, no, thank you. He didn't want me to be in show business. She said, when you have a calling, you have to follow it. So I made the choice, blew the marriage, and I've never regretted it. She then married the love of her life, TV host Alan Luden, in 1963. They met when she was a guest on Celebrity Password.
Yeah.
Do you remember that show?
No, I don't remember. I mean,
Password?
I'm aware of it, but it was not something that was on when I was a little kid.
Yeah, it was.
But it was like there was a word, right? And then you ask questions of like the celebrity guests.
Yes.
And that was how you deduce what the word was.
You had to
right?
get them to say the word, yeah.
Okay, you had
like the password.
Okay, the contestant had to get the celebrity to say the word.
But it was like you could only give like certain clues, or you had to like not say certain words.
And the celebrities didn't know what it was.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was. I may have that off a little bit, but it's something like that.
I was watching Jeopardy last night, and I had the idea. I was like, wouldn't it be funny if we like tried to play Jeopardy or some other game show
we should
like
do that
on the show sometime?
Yes.
I think that would be funny.
We should do it.
I got Final Jeopardy right the other night.
Did
I was
you?
proud of myself.
That's impressive.
I didn't think I was right, but I was.
Very good. All right. So she married Al Luden in 1963. Love of her life. They did some stuff together. He had already had children.
Mm-hmm.
So she never had children of her own. She said that his children were her children and they were a family, and that's how it was. Like, she was fine with that because they were a family unit. She wasn't supposed to play Sue Ann on the Mary Tyler Moore Show. If you remember, that was probably Betty White's like huge break, was the Mary Tyler Moore Show. The part was originally for a Betty White type, but they thought Betty and Mary's friendship wouldn't work out on screen, but obviously it did.
Like their real life friendship?
No, I think
or they thought
the
they
characters
wouldn't have chemistry.
Yeah, the characters wouldn't. White preferred animals to humans.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that. Who doesn't?
She said, I think this is cute. Animals don't lie. Animals don't criticize. If you ask me if animals have moody days, they handle them better than humans do.
I mean, I would say if a cat was capable of lying, it would.
Cats are a whole other story.
Did you knock that vase off the counter?
No. And I'm going to kill you.
I'm going to kill you if you ask me again.
Or the cat would just be like, yes, I did.
Yes, I did. What are you going to do about it? Fair enough.
White was estimated having 20 dogs at one point growing up. She loved animals so much that her first production company, Bandy Productions, was named after her Pekingese Bandit. So that was her first production company. At 95... she still enjoyed vodka and hot dogs, so there we go.
That's a weird combination.
Isn't it?
Can I get a martini and a hot dog?
Yeah, why not? She was asked what a magazine interviewed her and asked her about it, and she said what she attributed her long life to, and she joked and said she enjoyed having vodka and hot dogs, probably in that order. So, on to the Blanche thing. She was originally offered the role of Blanche. And Rue McClanahan was supposed to play Rose. So they flip-flopped.
It's hard to imagine. I mean, I'm sure they're both capable of playing both parts, but it's hard to imagine.
Correct, but I don't see it because I feel like Betty White's character was so Betty White. Like,
right.
I mean, I don't think she was as
dingy.
I
mean, right. I mean, she just got so known for like playing that type of character.
That
like
sweet,
like the Hot in Cleveland show. I never really watched that very much. But she's basically playing the same character, like the way she acts and stuff like that.
She's Rose with a bit of Sophia, I think, thrown in. The sarcasm and the whatever. But she was great on Hot in Cleveland, too. So then the director suggested switching the roles since they played familiar ones in the past. And it was the best decision ever. White won an Emmy for Outstanding Actress in a Comedy Series for her portrayal. After the show's end, they went on to the short-lived spinoff, The Golden Palace.
With Cheech Marin and Don Cheadle.
That's right. Her appearance on TV Land's Hot in Cleveland was only supposed to be a one-time guest role.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we saw how that worked out. And, of course, people loved her, and she was so endearing that they gave her a full-time guest role. And last but not least, and I did not know this, White is Saturday Night Live's oldest guest host.
Yeah, I remember.
And she just killed it.
Yeah, that was one of those things where Twitter just demanded that she do it to the point where they're I guess we have to.
They put her on. It was one of the most watched episodes ever.
Yeah.
And she won a Primetime Emmy for her performance on Saturday Night Live.
I don't remember her being on SNL that well, but I think she did a MacGruber skit.
I don't know. They said we'll never look at a muffin the same way again. So I don't know what she did with a muffin.
Yeah, I don't remember that one, but I'm pretty sure she did a MacGruber skit because that was kind of the big reoccurring character at the time.
Okay.
Which, are you familiar with MacGruber? So MacGruber is what's his name? I can't think of the actor's name, but he's like a parody of MacGyver, right? But he always gets distracted. He's always trying. Every skit on SNL is he's like trying to defuse a bomb or whatever, and then something distracts him and the bomb blows up. And like that's what every skit is basically.
Gotcha.
And then they turn it into a movie, and now it's like got its own spin-off series and stuff. But yeah, I think she did one of those skits.
Gotcha. So I don't know. I feel like now I need to watch the Betty White like Saturday Night Live episode.
It's probably on Hulu. Another thing to subscribe to Hulu for.
Jeez, James, you're just trying to spend my money this morning.
Yeah, here, let me give you my Hulu Associates like code.
Right. And this show is now sponsored by Hulu because we talk about it so much. And Crocs, and what was the other one?
I don't know. We
said the
get
other
a lot
day.
of free plugs for things.
But anyway, so those are some fun Betty White facts, and we do have a birthday coming up, and we talked about that a little bit. The Betty White challenge is still out there.
Are you familiar with the company Cincy shirts? Cincy, like Cincinnati?
No.
So they are like a t-shirt shop out of Cincinnati, and they mostly make like funny Cincinnati Reds t-shirts and stuff like that. But a lot of times they're partnered with charities. And they have a Betty White T-shirt that they're selling on their website right now, and like all the funds from that goes to one of the like animal protection charities.
Okay.
So I recommend you check that out because their shirts are all really funny. I have a couple of them, and nice quality, and it's a Ohio company, and it ships
fun.
fast and everything. And they're all funny, and they do a lot of things for charity. But they have a Betty White one right now that. I forget exactly what it says. I see if I can find it really fast, but it's funny.
Yeah, check that out. And the Betty White challenge is, I believe her birthday is the 17th. So donate to any local animal organizations. So here in our area, whether it be your local dog pound, humane society, or anything else along the way. If you want to donate to our local humane society, it's P.O. Box 1 here in Jackson, which is very easy to remember.
It's easy to remember. How'd they get that?
I don't know. It's always been P.O. Box 1. Also, of course, you can drop off money for the dog pound at the pound, or the commissioner's office would be another one. So, okay, stay golden. Oh, it's Betty White hugging a doggy.
Yeah, it's a picture of Betty White with a golden retriever, and it says "Stay golden."
It has a quote on it. Once someone has had the good fortune to share a true love affair, with a golden retriever, one's life and one's outlook is never quite the same.
Aww.
That is so sweet. And it's Cincinnati Animal Care something society. Looks like they're going to donate to. So there you go.
Yeah, so that's cincyshirts.com.
There you go. If you want to help out that way.
It's $25 for a shirt.
Or you can just donate local.
Yeah, $5 of each shirt benefits Cincinnati Cares.
Okay.
Cincinnati Animal Care's vision is to reunite lost companion pets, reduce the stray population, offer opportunities for unwanted animals to be adopted or rescued, and provide the public with information and programs for pet ownership in Cincinnati and Hamilton County.
Very cool.
There you go.
All right. Love it. We should come up with our own shirt here.
We should.
We have a print shop.
It's true.
What were we thinking until just now?
I don't know.
We're slacking about that. So, cool. All right. So yeah, there's your Betty White information for the day. But I mean, is there anybody in the world that you say Betty White and they just don't like light up and, just who didn't love her?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know, probably that husband that she wouldn't move to Ohio for.
Probably, or the one that, I don't know.
He's like, I don't know why everyone thinks she's so great.
I don't know why she don't want to live here in Ohio with me and have my babies and not work anymore. Thank God she didn't.
Yeah.
Like what a waste that would have been. Not, I mean, a waste, like selfishly, what a waste for all of us it would have been. So anyway, let's see. Today is the, believe it or not, 10th anniversary of the Costa Concordia debacle, which James said he doesn't remember.
I don't remember that.
But that was, I'm sure you all remember this, the cruise ship, the Costa Concordia, that the captain was showboating, pun intended, and went right up to the shore and was like trying to wave at his friends and stuff, and hit ground, and it fell over on its side and killed a bunch of people. And then instead of, going down with the ship, the captain gets in a lifeboat and sails off and leaves everybody on the ship. And the Coast Guard's like, get back on the ship. Like, there's so many videos of it. They're like yelling at him, and he's like, no, I'm directing. I'm directing from down below
I'm supervising
as I sail around in the lifeboat that could be used for other people.
As I disappear over the horizon.
Yeah, as I sail off into the sunset. Needless to say, he got in a lot of trouble, and he is still serving a 16-year prison sentence for aggravated homicide, I think, because he screwed up big time. And the problem with that Costa Concordia is it fell on its side. All the power went out. So not like the Titanic, but so you've got one side full of lifeboats that can't be used because they're smashed, and another side of lifeboats that are stuck straight up in the air, and they couldn't lower them.
Get to it.
So it was a mess.
Sounds like a mess.
It was a giant mess. There were several people that lost their lives. It laid there forever and ever. They didn't know what to do with it. And like after several years, they finally pumped the water. I don't know if they pumped water into it, or I don't remember. It had a big hole in the side of it. So they finally raised it back up and then towed it off for scrap. But it was like years later.
Wow. Yeah, no, I missed that news story somehow.
Oh, it was like a big one there for a while. So you were probably...
Well,
I'm so embarrassed to say this. You were probably too young to remember.
I was in my early 20s. I just not interested in cruise ship crash news stories, I guess.
Probably. So, but can you believe that was 10 years ago? How time flies. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So, anywho, all right.
You want to go over the swap meet? Or the tackle swap meet info one more time, and we'll get out of here.
So thanks to the kids for coming in, and we appreciate that.
I bet, it's right there. I think you went past it.
Did I?
Yeah.
There it is. Okay. It's the one with the fish on it. You'd have thought I would have, caught up on that. But the Oak Hill High School bass fishing team is hosting a fishing tackle swap meets this Saturday, January 15th at Oak Hill High School. There will be fishing tackle, rods, reels, kayaks, and many other items related to fishing, of course. Food and drinks will be available, and raffle tickets will be available. And it's for the Oak Hill High School bass fishing team. So there you go. You can also set up a table for $20. For more information, contact Justin Williams, 740-710-1268. 710-1268.
And if you're one of the many people that have come to our yard sales over the years and said that you were looking for fishing things, and we said, sorry, sir, we do not have any fishing things, here is your opportunity.
And if you want to learn about fishing, if you have questions, maybe the kids can help you out too.
Yeah. If you're an avid fisherman, and they were saying they were always looking for people with boats that are willing to donate their time
to take the kids out.
So I'm sure that if you're someone that has a nice bass boat and wants to donate some of your time to
really cool. So I just think that's such a neat. I love that they're doing bowling teams and fishing teams and things like that. I love that there's so many
creating more, extracurricular things for kids to be involved in.
Correct. And I love that so many kids now, it just wasn't, I don't feel like as much of a thing, are in drama and, the communications departments and, the media teams and all of that. There's so many more opportunities out there now. And I love that for kids because, not every kid's good at baseball or football. It's we all have our own talents. And I think that's neat that they get to participate in a whole lot of other things too.
I agree.
So there you go. All right. Well, we probably got to get out of here for the day.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah. So tomorrow we're going to have a special guest.
Yeah.
I think, aren't we?
Yeah,
Yes.
John Boy.
Yeah. John Boy will be here tomorrow. And then when's the other guest coming?
On Friday, we're going to have an author. I don't know if I printed.
Yes.
Yeah, there's the info.
Jenna Ashland. And she is.
She's an author from Gallipolis that has a new book. What today is the 12th, so it is out. Her book is out now.
There you go. And it's kind of about a personal struggle that she had, but it's kind of about abuse, right?
Right. Yeah.
So we'll talk with her about that. That's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a heavy subject, but it's a real thing that deserves to be talked about.
100%.
Yeah.
Because it's real and it's out there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you're not alone.
Right.
I think that's the main thing.
Well, yeah, and I think that's the purpose of her book is for people who have experienced similar situations to realize that they're not the only person.
And maybe give them some idea of resources where they can, get help that they need.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you're right. Heavy subject, but very important one.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll talk about that on Friday. John Boy here tomorrow on Thursday. So it's always a good time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Of course. And it's been a lot of fun. Thanks to the kids and Mr. Williams from Oak Hill for stopping by, telling us all about bass fishing.
Yeah.
Really cool stuff. And thanks to all the questions that we got.
Thank you guys for.
Yeah. If y'all don't participate, it's not as much fun.
It's true.
So, all right. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.